Have you ever thought about a country where time seems to have stopped, frozen in its endless movement? A place where vintage cars still roam the streets, preserving the spirit of bygone eras, and the atmosphere of the past century lingers in the air like the breath of a long-gone time? Where internet access remains a dream for most residents, and modern technology appears as a luxury out of reach for ordinary people? This is Cuba, a unique, one-of-a-kind island holding many secrets and paradoxes behind its external harmony and vibrant culture. Behind its historic architecture, imbued with history and the rhythms of fiery salsa, lie astonishing, sometimes incredible facts that challenge perceptions of reality. Imagine a country where one person has survived over 600 assassination attempts, and its national dish bears a mysterious name that can be translated as old clothes. Cuba is a land filled with mysteries and untold stories waiting to be discovered. Are you ready to immerse yourself in this world of unexplored secrets, layered with history and culture? The official name of this nation is the Republic of Cuba, and it holds a special place in world history as the first island nation subjected to prolonged economic and political blockade, which became unprecedented in modern times. It is the only socialist country on the American continent, and its geographical position is astonishing. It curves on the map, stretching between two vast bodies of water, the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. The majestic silhouette of Cuba resembles a crocodile peacefully swimming in the open sea, as if guarding its secrets. Its area exceeds 11,000 square kilometers, making it not only the largest island in the Caribbean, but also one of the largest island states in the world, ranking 17 in size among all existing islands on the planet. The capital of Cuba, Havana, is renowned for its unique atmosphere, infused with a rich history. Here you will find cobblestone streets that have borne the footsteps of colonial Spanish builders for centuries, and magnificent examples of colonial architecture that impress with their beauty and grandeur. In this city, Latin American culture vividly manifests itself, capturing the heart of everyone who steps onto its streets. However, behind this external charm lies a troubling demographic picture that causes serious concern. As of 2024, the population of Cuba has decreased to approximately 975 million people, a significant decline compared to the over 11 million residents it had in 2022. Part 2 of 13. The primary cause of this demographic decline was a wave of emigration, a mass exodus of citizens seeking a better life beyond the island. In just 2 years, over 850,000 Cubans left their homeland, heading to the United States of America, which accounts for nearly 18% of the country's total population. This migration wave significantly changed the face of Cuba, posing serious challenges related to an aging population. Currently, a quarter of the population is over 60 years old, and the birth rate, only 144 children per 1,000 women, creates the risk that in the coming years, the country will face a shortage of young people who could continue its development. Equally remarkable is the story of the long and complex economic embargo imposed on Cuba. It all began in 1960 when the Cuban government nationalized American property without offering compensation or agreements. In response, in 1962, U.S. President John F. Kennedy signed an order for a complete economic blockade of Cuba, cutting off almost all trade, financial, and diplomatic relations with the country. Before traveling to Cuba, it is essential to carefully prepare your luggage, paying special attention to gathering all necessary items to ensure a smooth and hassle-free journey. An important part of the preparation is understanding that tap water in many parts of the island can pose certain health risks. It often contains bacteria, harmful microorganisms, and microelements that can cause digestive disorders, potentially spoiling even the most enjoyable trip. Therefore, to enjoy the beauty and rich culture of Cuba, it is important to stay vigilant and follow basic safety precautions. First and foremost, it is recommended to drink only bottled water or water that has been thoroughly boiled, as this is the most reliable way to avoid unpleasant consequences. Many hotels and restaurants offer their guests clean water. However, for complete confidence in its safety, it is better to have a personal water filter that can be used at any time. This approach may seem unusual or even excessive for those visiting the island for the first time, but in practice, it can significantly increase your comfort level and protect your health. Equally important is to bring along a supply of hygiene products, such as toilet paper, wet wipes, and other personal care items, because in some places these items may be unavailable or difficult to find when needed. Despite the seeming unusualness of such measures, caring for your health and comfort is a priority, especially if you have decided to fully immerse yourself in the atmosphere of this amazing island. If you have already had the opportunity to visit Cuba, you have probably thought many times about how to share your experience with those who are just about to embark on this journey. After all, Cuba is not only incredible beaches with white sand and turquoise waters, but also a country rich in history and a unique culture that seems to be infused with the spirit of freedom and creativity. In this context, the local residents stand out especially brightly, among whom Cuban women deserve a special place. Their extraordinary beauty and charisma attract the attention of even the most discerning travelers. Cuban women are not only women with striking appearances, deep eyes, long eyelashes, curly hair, and sun-kissed skin the color of caramel, reminiscent of the sun and the sea breeze. Their image is unforgettable. It embodies warmth and inner strength. However, their main trait is inner confidence and pride in their natural beauty. In a world where many women strive for thinness and follow fashion standards, Cuban women remain true to their natural attractiveness, unafraid to showcase their lush figures and innate grace. Among well-known personalities associated with Cuba, Camila Cabello and Ana de Armas can be mentioned, who successfully demonstrate on the global stage that Cuban beauty and talent go hand in hand. But the appeal of Cuban women is not limited to their outward appearance. These women are renowned for their intelligence, education, and achievements in various fields. In Cuba, more than 60% of university students are women, which speaks to their strong desire for knowledge and development. Additionally, they occupy more than half of the seats in the country's parliament, which is truly an impressive indicator for a nation where women actively participate in governance and decision-making. In science, technology, and professional industries, women make up about 66%, reflecting their significant role in social life. However, despite all these achievements, it is worth noting that approximately 40 to 55% of adult women in Cuba remain unmarried, and the divorce rate here is considered one of the highest in the world. Perhaps this is because Cuban women are strong, independent, and self-sufficient, and their independence sometimes complicates the search for a suitable partner among local men. For foreigners, these traits can be good news, as they testify to the freedom and equality present in the society of this island, creating a special atmosphere where personal freedom and respect for individuality are highly valued. Cuba is famous for its sincere openness and friendly attitude towards visiting guests and tourists. People arriving on this island often note that Cubans are characterized by particular friendliness, genuine warmth, and a desire to help everyone who finds themselves in their country. Part 4 of 13. If you want to leave a bright and memorable impression on Cubans, it is worth trying to participate in charitable projects related to medicine or education. Such initiatives not only help local residents but also allow you to feel like a part of their lives, demonstrate genuine care and compassion. For Cubans, unlike many other peoples, sincerity and kindness are most important. In their understanding, words, even the most beautiful and convincing ones, do not carry as much weight as actions filled with warmth and honesty. These qualities are valued above all else and evoke respect and trust. A legendary figure who occupies a special place in Cuba's history is Fidel Castro. This man became a true symbol of resilience, unwavering will, and the ability to survive even in the most difficult conditions. Throughout his long life, he reportedly survived more than 600 assassination attempts. Most of these attempts, according to various sources and rumors, were organized by the CIA, America's intelligence agency. Some of these plots were so absurd that they seem more like farces or parodies of spy thrillers. For example, one attempt involved sprinkling his shoes with thallium, hoping it would cause him to lose his famous beard. It was said that the CIA believed that without his beard, Castro would lose some of his charm and charisma, which in their view would weaken his influence. This amusing yet very illustrative episode perfectly demonstrates how determined and inventive this leader was. He left not only a mark on Cuba's history, but also inscribed his name forever in the history of the world. Despite numerous trials, deadly threats, and intrigues, Fidel Castro lived a long, eventful life that lasted nearly 90 years. During this time, He managed to overcome all obstacles and enemies, except one, time, which, as is well known, spares no one. Perhaps it was precisely the constant vigilance imposed by his surroundings and accompanying him throughout his life that helped him maintain his health and vigor. The CIA and other external forces made every effort to destroy or overthrow him, yet he remained in power and became a symbol of defiance and resilience. This man became not only a symbol of immunity to threats, but also one of the longest-serving leaders in modern world history. For exactly 50 years, he ruled Cuba, and by the 21st century, that is, in the year 2000, he ranked third among the longest-reigning leaders in the world. Only Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom and King Bhumibol Adulyadej of Thailand ranked ahead of him. Fidel Castro's story is one of the most remarkable and captivating chapters of the 20th century, filled with struggle, defiance, and the fight for his country and ideals. If you admire such resilience and longevity of rule, you can simply leave the number 4 in the comments, a symbol of your recognition of its uniqueness. Despite its rich culture, historical heritage, and vibrant traditions, Cuba demonstrates an astonishing lag in modern technology and communication tools. Imagine a country where smartphones and internet access remain a luxury beyond the reach of most of the population. Until the 20th century, or more precisely until 2008, ordinary Cubans had virtually no opportunity to use mobile phones. This privilege was strictly limited, available only to high-ranking government officials and representatives of foreign companies. For most ordinary citizens, mobile phones remained an unattainable dream. Only when the government began gradually to loosen restrictions did this unique cultural environment, born out of certain historical and technological features, give rise to a special type of society where people actively share various types of media, films, music, and programs, often recorded on USB drives. This exchange reminded one of times when the internet was not yet an everyday reality, and all communication was built through physical media. In these circles, it was customary to exchange files as if returning to an era before the global network, where each device stored an entire world of entertainment and knowledge. Imagine, are you ready to accept the challenge and spend a few days in Cuba, completely disconnected from the internet and modern technologies, limited only to a flash drive filled with your favorite music, movies, and series? Think about whether you can withstand such a test of resilience, giving up the familiar online world even for a short time. If you feel confident and decide to undertake such an adventure, share it, because such trials require special determination. And if you suddenly decide to travel to Cuba, the first place you should definitely visit is Old Havana, a historic district recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, rightfully considered the heart of the Cuban capital. Here, among narrow streets and ancient buildings, you can feel the breath of past centuries. It preserves the spirit of the 16th century, when this land first became an important center of maritime trade and colonial life. In this area, you will find a wealth of architectural masterpieces from different eras, including those created in the 15th century, as well as numerous art galleries. Equally attractive are cozy cafes filled with the poetic Cuban atmosphere, where music and the aroma of coffee create a unique harmony. Strolling through ancient squares such as Plaza Vieja or Plaza de la Catedral will immerse you in the atmosphere of the past, allowing you to feel the spirit of an era when life was bustling here and important events took place. Visiting the nearby Castillo de la Real Fuerza Fortress will leave you unforgettable impressions and allow you to experience the power and strategic importance of this defensive structure. The entire area is imbued with the spirit of Old Havana and serves as an excellent starting point for exploring Cuba's rich history and culture. The best time to travel to Cuba is from late December to April, when the dry and pleasant weather is ideal for walks and outdoor excursions. During this period, air temperatures gently fluctuate within comfortable ranges, and humidity and rainfall are minimal, allowing you to fully enjoy the island's beauty. If you want to escape the hustle and noise of Havana, consider heading to Vinales, a small, quiet town located just 2 hours from the capital in the province of Pinar del Rio. It is famous for its impressive limestone hills, carved by nature over many centuries, creating astonishing shapes and landscapes. Vinales offers unique opportunities for active recreation and immersion in natural idyll. Here you can go horseback riding through tobacco fields, explore mysterious caves, or hike through scenic forests, enjoying the tranquility and beauty of untouched nature. This corner of Cuba is considered a paradise for adventure lovers and active travelers, as each place holds its own special magic. Thanks to affordable accommodation prices, cozy bars, and diverse restaurants, Viñales has become a popular destination among young travelers seeking inexpensive and memorable experiences. Here you can fully immerse yourself in the atmosphere of Cuban provincial life, feel its unique color, and gain a deeper understanding of local culture. For those interested in history and nature, a visit to Baracoa is a must, a colonial city of Cuba renowned for its rich history and picturesque landscapes. It is home to the famous El Yunque Mountain, whose shape resembles a giant anvil, and is considered one of the most significant factors that contributed to Cuba's prominent and respected position on the world stage: its unique healthcare system. Thanks to this system, the country achieved impressive results in medicine and public health. Before the respected leader Fidel Castro came to power, the country had only about 6,000 doctors, most of whom worked in port cities and at maritime stations where urgent medical assistance was needed most. The entire medical potential was concentrated in a small number of institutions, which clearly did not allow for providing quality treatment to the entire population. However, everything changed dramatically when Fidel Castro ascended to power and declared, "Healthcare is not a privilege of the wealthy or the chosen few, but an inalienable right of every person." These words became the starting point for extensive reforms. Shortly thereafter, many private clinics and medical centers were closed, and in their place, the government opened dozens of new universities and colleges where future doctors and healthcare workers were trained. A significant step was the enshrinement of the right to free healthcare in the country's constitution, which happened in 1976. As a result of these reforms, Cuba today boasts a ratio of 9 doctors per 1,000 inhabitants, nearly 3 times higher than the United States. Moreover, over 240 Cuban doctors are currently working around the world, participating in humanitarian missions and providing assistance to countries in need of medical support. These medical professionals serve as global doctors, spreading Cuba's medical reputation beyond its borders. Education in Cuba is also a source of national pride. With an literacy rate reaching 99.67%, the country significantly surpasses most Latin American nations, as well as the United States, where the rate is close to 79%. An important feature is that education from kindergarten through university is provided completely free of charge. This is not a privilege reserved for the wealthy and affluent, but a right guaranteed to every citizen without exception. Such an approach to education emphasizes the importance of science and knowledge for Cuban society. The country's authorities allocate up to 54% of the national budget annually to the development of healthcare and education systems. These investments even surprise developed and wealthy countries, as the scale and efficiency of social sector spending in Cuba are quite impressive. Cuba is a country of remarkable facts and phenomena that are hard to imagine if you are accustomed to living in the USA or another Western country. For example, it is entirely possible to wave your hand and get into a state-owned car, which will stop and pick up a passenger if there is a free seat. This can lead to the most unexpected encounters and situations, such as finding yourself in the same car with a minister heading to work. Such an approach is not only unusual, but also highlights the friendliness and openness of Cuban society, its desire to share and be part of a common space. Cuba is also known for its unique position in international trade and economics. The world-famous beverage, Coca-Cola, has been absent from the island for over 6 decades, as the country has been subjected to a long-term trade embargo by the United States. This fact vividly illustrates Cuba's resilience and its ability to maintain independence even under severe restrictions and sanctions. But the island's features do not end there. This is the only country for which U.S. citizens need to obtain a special permit from their government to visit, highlighting the unique political and economic situation that has developed in Cuba. Nature enthusiasts will find here many amazing places and creatures. In particular, the island is home to the world's smallest bird, the bee hummingbird, which is no longer than 5 to 6 centimeters and weighs less than 2 grams. This tiny bird impresses with its elegance and miniature size. Rumba is a passionate and profound dance that embodies the richness and energy of two cultures, Spanish and African. Its origins are linked to Cuba's history, where the fusion of these cultural traditions created a unique form of self-expression for the local people. This dance is not just body movement to music. It is a lively story about life, love, and dreams intertwined in every gesture. Rumba has become a symbol of emotional openness and inner strength, expressing the feelings and experiences of the people through graceful and passionate movements. At the same time, Rumba is also a way of conveying stories, traditions, and national identity, embedded in every beat and rhythm. Meanwhile, salsa is a more vibrant and dynamic expression of Cuban musical culture, filling everyday life with energy and joy. This dance possesses a distinctive style and temperament. It is like an embodiment of vitality capable of infecting and inspiring everyone who performs or simply listens to it. Only in Cuba can one truly feel the genuine soul and sincere passion hidden in every movement. When lively drum rhythms and the unique style of salsa captivate you from the first notes, carrying you into a whirlwind of emotions and sensations. It is here, among narrow streets and bustling squares, that you can truly experience the energy of these dances, which have become an integral part of Cuban culture and national character. Daily life in Cuba is undoubtedly connected to coffee. This beverage here is not just a means of waking up, but a true ritual, part of cultural traditions and customs. Cubans start their day with a small cup of strong coffee called tatita. This drink is an essential part of their morning, a way to begin the day with vigor and a good mood. Coffee in Cuba serves not only to energize, but also to strengthen social bonds, to communicate with loved ones and friends. It becomes a reason for a short but very pleasant conversation, an opportunity to share news and simply enjoy the moment. A small cup filled with rich and very strong coffee helps Cubans not only wake up, but also recharge for the day ahead. This coffee is brewed in special small cups, emphasizing its particular strength and richness. The drink has the power to awaken not only the body, but also the soul, filling the heart with warmth and joy. Thus, Cuba is a country filled with contrasts and wonderful discoveries, where every moment takes on a special meaning and richness. Here you can embark on a hitchhiking journey along scenic roads, enjoying rare natural wonders, or immerse yourself in an atmosphere of music and dance that fills every street and every home. This is a place where each minute is imbued with a unique color, and every event carries a special significance, whether it's a walk along the coast, a meeting with locals, or simply observing the surrounding nature. Many travelers note that it is these moments that make a trip to Cuba unforgettable and unique. And which of these facts seem most surprising and astonishing to you? Cuba is an island literally infused with unique traditions and cultural features, offering everyone the opportunity to fully immerse themselves in an atmosphere where the past and present intertwine in a single rhythm. One of the bright and unforgettable aspects of Cuban culture is the tasting of the famous Cuban coffee. This beverage is not just coffee, it's a whole ritual that begins in the depths of an Italian moka pot, where a rich aroma and distinctive flavor are born. What makes it truly special? Primarily the exceptional sweet foam that forms during brewing. This delicate layer of foam is no accident but an art, as it perfectly balances the sharp bitterness of strong coffee, creating a harmonious and well-rounded taste. It is this airy foam, like a drop of sweetness, that transforms each cup into a true delight. On the streets and in the courtyards of Cuba, where narrow alleys and lively city streets stretch out, life pulses with a special brightness and genuine joy. Here, in these tight, sound-filled and bustling areas, the traditional Cuban game, domino, turns into a theatrical spectacle full of emotion and friendly competition. For locals, this game is not just entertainment, but a sacred ritual that unites generations and preserves the spirit of community. Each domino game is accompanied by infectious laughter, lively debates, and the ringing clicks of tiles echoing throughout the neighborhood, creating a unique atmosphere of unity and joy. In some parts of the city, especially in well-known districts, large-scale annual tournaments are held, where the intensity of competition reaches its peak. These events gather numerous participants and spectators, united by the desire to test their luck and skill, as well as to feel the strength of the collective spirit. At such moments, the streets are filled with a special energy, and residents, with pride and joy, gather together to experience unforgettable moments of victory and defeat, strengthening their friendship and traditions. Traveling around Cuba, it's impossible not to notice how time seems to slow down, stopping in the past. One of the most vivid symbols of this past is the famous classic cars that still cruise the streets of this unique island. These cars are not just means of transportation, but living evidence of an era that remains in the country's memory and culture. Cuba is like a living open-air museum where every morning vintage Chevrolet, Ford, and other models appear on the streets, along with cars from the Soviet era, Ladas, Moskviches, and Zhigulis, reminding us of the former Soviet past. These vehicles are not merely modes of travel, they are works of art, embodying the engineering skill and ingenuity of the Cubans. People here keep them in working condition despite difficulties in accessing spare parts and maintenance. In recent years, modern cars have begun to arrive in Cuba, but their numbers are still very small compared to the numerous classic cars that have become an integral part of the urban landscape. This unique blend of past and present creates an atmosphere that attracts travelers from around the world. Everyone who visits this colorful island has the opportunity not only to enjoy its unique ambiance, but also to touch its rich cultural heritage woven into every detail. Whether it's a cup of aromatic coffee, a cozy evening at home, or a ride in a vintage car. Today, classic cars have become true cultural symbols of Cuba, inspiring interest and admiration among tourists from all over the globe. Each ride in a retro convertible along the historic harbor is not just a journey, it's a window into the past, a time machine that transports us to an era of elegance and vitality. Imagine yourself enjoying the cool sea breeze and gentle sunlight, recreating the atmosphere of bygone years. If you had the chance to choose your dream car, what would it be? Perhaps an elegant and streamlined Chevrolet, a powerful and reliable Ford, or maybe a simple yet charming Soviet Lada. Don't hesitate to share your preferences. After all, that's the beauty of travel, allowing everyone to find something special and unique for themselves. Moving on to the gastronomic side of Cuban life, it's impossible not to note that culinary adventures here are among its most vibrant parts. Cuban cuisine is not just a collection of dishes, it's a whole world filled with unexpected flavors, aromas, and traditions. You should start your gastronomic journey with a dish called ropa vieja, which translates as old clothes. Despite its strange name, this dish is a true culinary marvel, deserving high praise. It features thinly sliced beef, stewed in a rich, aromatic sauce. Next on the list are dishes known locally as moros and criollos. These dishes, despite their simplicity, carry deep symbolism and reflect the region's rich history. The main ingredients are white rice and black beans, often served together, creating a harmonious and flavorful combination. This combination symbolizes Cuba's long history, its complex and ambiguous past associated with the coexistence of Moors and Christians on the Iberian Peninsula. White rice represents the Christian part of the culture, while black beans embody the Moorish heritage, uniting the two peoples into a single historical panorama. Around the world, especially in Cuba, this dish has become an integral part of daily life. In everyday routines, it accompanies Cubans' lunch hours, becoming part of a familiar gastronomic ritual passed down through generations. For those who enjoy variety and small snacks, there is a special dish called tostone, green plantains that are twice fried until crispy. As a result, they develop an appetizing texture and a slight saltiness that perfectly complements the main flavors. Tostones are delicious on their own or paired with various types of meat, especially fried or grilled steak. Their rich, crispy taste can truly enhance any meal, and their versatility allows them to be served as an appetizer or a side dish. Of course, the famous Cuban sandwich cannot be overlooked, considered a true emblem of the island and evoking genuine gastronomic admiration among many travelers. It consists of juicy fried pork, thinly sliced ham, melted Swiss cheese, pickles, and mustard, all assembled in a crispy bread crust. This sandwich, bursting with aromas and textures, can awaken the appetite even of the most discerning gourmets with just a description. Interestingly, this culinary masterpiece was created by Cuban immigrants living in the United States and has become a symbol not only of flavor, but also of the island's spirit. It perfectly captures the atmosphere of Cuba, its vibrant character, and its unique gastronomic traditions. If you are planning a trip to Cuba and looking for a dish to start your culinary adventure, the choice seems obvious: the wonderful combination of rice and beans, tostones, and the Cuban sandwich. If you agree with this idea and believe that such dishes are an excellent way to begin exploring the cuisine of this amazing island, you can leave the number 13 in the comments, a symbol of luck and new discoveries. Cuba is famous not only for its renowned cigars and vintage cars, which create a special atmosphere on the streets, but also for its lively festivals, considered the soul of the island. One such vibrant event is the Carnival in Santiago de Cuba, held in July, which has long established itself as one of the most colorful and memorable celebrations in the region. This holiday is not just a mass procession or festival, it is a true carnival of cultural and historical richness, bringing together people from across the country and even abroad. For several days, the city is filled with the sounds of live music, rhythms of Congo, and mesmerizing rumba that fill the hearts of every participant and spectator. Street orchestras, dancers in bright costumes, and performers create a festive atmosphere infused with the spirit of African culture and local traditions. The townspeople and visitors transform into dancing and singing participants, embodying the spirit of freedom and joy that permeates every moment of this festival. If you appreciate music and are looking for an opportunity to immerse yourself fully in the local atmosphere, attending the Havana Jazz Festival in January is a must. Cuba has long been renowned for its unique and distinctive charm, which seems to be infused with an atmosphere of antiquity and rich history. This charming island radiates its special allure through the architecture of Old Havana, where the walls are marked by the traces of past eras, and the streets, paved with stone and cobblestones, slowly lead you through the centuries. In these corners, old buildings with elegant facades, decorated with carved balconies and bright colors, create the impression that time has stood still here. Particularly captivating in this context are the vintage cars gliding smoothly and confidently along the streets, as if holding in their memory the years gone by. These vehicles, often styled after classic models, add color and create a unique atmosphere of calm and serenity, which seems to be an integral part of the local coziness and relaxed way of life. However, despite the external idyll, the standard of living in Cuba has its nuances and peculiarities. In large cities like Havana and Santiago de Cuba, the cost of renting a one-room apartment ranges from $300 to $600 per month. In these bustling metropolises, where life is vibrant and streets are filled with noise and activity, such expenses are justified, as the cultural and business life of the country is concentrated here. At the same time, in quieter, more remote areas such as Trinidad or Vinales, the cost of living is significantly lower, approximately from $150 to $300 per month. This price range allows people to enjoy comfort and a peaceful life in more secluded corners of Cuba, where nature and silence create a special atmosphere of relaxation and harmony. Here one can feel the true spirit of the country, discovering its real essence without the hustle and noise of big cities. Regarding food, it is worth noting that expenses on groceries for those who prefer to cook at home amount to about $50 to $100 per month. This money allows for purchasing fresh and natural products at local markets, where the assortment is rich and diverse, and prices are significantly lower than European or American standards. For those who enjoy trying traditional Cuban dishes, such as ropa vieja, a national delicacy made from meat and vegetables, or the famous Cuban sandwich with meat or cheese, the cost of a meal at local cafes or restaurants typically does not exceed $2 to $5. This price range makes it possible for most people to enjoy tasty and filling meals, while also allowing them to immerse themselves in authentic cuisine full of aromas and spices characteristic of the Caribbean region. Traveling around the island is also not a significant expense for visitors. Public transportation, such as buses and shared taxis, is a convenient and economical way to get around. Especially popular among locals are so-called collective taxis, vintage cars operating on shared routes. These vehicles, often styled in a retro manner, allow for quick and affordable travel to desired destinations, with monthly transportation costs of approximately $10 to $15, making such a system accessible and practical for most. Don't forget to explore the historic streets of Havana, which are themselves a unique attraction. Endless historic buildings, narrow alleys, and vibrant street scenes create a living museum that requires no expenditure. For those looking to stay physically active, there are local gyms, which, although less equipped than Western counterparts, offer classes at prices ranging from $20 to $40 per month. Additionally, for those seeking a more authentic and lively experience, joining free salsa lessons in city squares provides not only a way to improve physical fitness, but also an immersion into Cuba's rich and vibrant culture. Thus, the total monthly expenses for living in Cuba, depending on your preferences and lifestyle, can vary approximately from